My name is Loretta Jackson. Stay tuned for my interview on the Inspiration by Loretta Show.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Inspiration by Loretta Show, where we explore minds and inspire hearts. I'm here today with Mr. Eric A. Jackson, who is a business owner and a community activist, and he's here today to share his own personal brand of inspiration with us. Hi Eric, and welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Good, I'm good. So happy that you could join me on today. Now today's episode is about men making a difference. And I heard about you from a friend of mine, and I really liked everything that you were doing. So I want you to kind of get the audience a little familiar with who exactly Eric A. Jackson is.
You said my name is Eric A. Jackson. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina, in the city of Charleston. And I went to high school, graduated from Burke High School, went into the military, the U.S. Navy, came back home. And I kind of saw a void in the community. Just not a lot of positive things going on in the same community that I grew up in. So I just wanted to give back to the community that I grew up in. I no longer live down in the city of Charleston, and that's just a part of my story.
Right.
Coming up, working hard, moving out, but paying it forward to the next generation, the kids that's in the city.
That's awesome. That's awesome, because we need men like you who will, you move away, but you haven't forgotten where you came from, and not only that, you want to make it better for the next generation. You want to pour something back into that community, and I think that's a really admirable thing for you to do. Now, you said you went to the Navy. What inspired you, or what made you want to join the military?
But when I graduated high school, I knew I was just not ready for college at the time. So I went into the military. I got, again, a lot of structure, a lot of time management, a lot of things. I learned a lot in the military. Okay. It just kind of tightened up everything that my mother was telling me when I was young.
Right.
And you're on time. Just make sure you're about your business at all times. And that kind of resonated even more when I got in the Navy, because it was like I was used to saying yes ma'am,
right,
no ma'am. So that adapting to that part of it wasn't hard for me. By learning how to be basically responsible for everything that you do is something that the military holds you accountable for your actions.
Right.
So that was very powerful for me at the time.
So do you take that, all of what you learned in the military, and now use that to pour into the youth that you work with?
Most definitely, most definitely. You have to let people see your actions.
Right.
You can't be saying one thing and doing another.
Right.
Especially when you're working with the youth.
Exactly.
And it's just something that I saw most of the people in the military, matter if you're a top rank or lower rank, it's a chain of command. And 90% of the people in the military respected that. Right. So that's why I try to let people and the young people in the community understand that you have to listen to somebody. Right. And that's just how it is, parents first. But when you come to the community center that I serve, I want you to respect me so you listen to me also.
Right.
So and that's what we just showed them, and just like the chain of command, and it's going to be always somebody instructing you on doing the right things.
Okay. So now, since you mentioned the community center, tell us about that. Tell us about your business and what all it is that you do through your organization.
The name of my organization is R3 Incorporated, which stands for Real Talk, Real Action, Real Results. And I basically started my organization to do an AAU basketball team. Okay. Just to try to get the kids in the city to travel with basketball. But as we were preparing to launch, our AAU basketball team, we started doing assessments of what the community really needed. And at the time, basketball is not what we need.
Really?
We need kids focused on education. We need kids focused on getting jobs. And we need family structure to get a little bit more stronger in the communities that I serve.
Right.
So we revamped the whole plan, and we call it Real Talk because we want to talk about real issues.
Right.
Education is big. At the end of the day, if we are not focusing on getting our kids properly educated, everything else is going to be harder to do.
Right.
So that's what we talk about building. We talk about that aspect of it. Real action is taking what we're talking about and put it into action. Just don't sit on it. Just don't be afraid to move forward with it. Explore options. Talk to people. Build a rapport with people. Build relationships with people.
Right.
And just make it a holistic, synergetic approach to helping the kids in our community. And real results is if you fail, talk about your failure. Because some people think that everything is going to be perfect, smooth, but there's hurdles in everything. Life has hurdles in it.
Right.
So you have to share your failures. You also share your positive results. You know, if something's working, that might be something we can focus more on.
Right.
You know, instead of just not wanting to change and not being able to move the bar a little bit, is what we found that it'll help, you know, especially the kids that we serve.
Right, right. I know, because education is a big deal. Because I'm a mother, and I have 5 children, and education is very, very important. Especially when I have 2 sons, with black males, it's just extremely difficult for them across the board. So being uneducated makes it even worse. So I try to encourage them to get. My oldest son has graduated from high school and is looking at going into college, so I'm very, happy about that. My 14-year-old is working towards, finishing school, and he's a bit rambunctious, so it's a task with him. But that's why we need your organization and the things that you do in the community to help people like me who have young sons and young daughters who need the encouragement and the motivation that you guys offer, and the skills and tools that you give them to use that they can carry out through the rest of their lives. So I want to thank you on behalf of all parents for doing what you do, because it's a much needed thing, and I'm sure when the kids grow up, they'll mimic what you've done for them and do the same for the generation after. So
yes.
So it's a great it's great what you're doing, and somebody has to do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, somebody has to do it.
So why not you?
Why not you? Exactly. So now you're a husband, you're a father, you have a beautiful wife and 2 kids. How long have you been married?
Actually, 11 years.
11 years.
11 years, yes. And she's actually the CEO of the organization.
Awesome.
She helps me out in a lot of aspects of my life. I always tell her thank you for being a good wife, but I always thank her for being an even better girlfriend and understanding girlfriend because it was a time back then. But so I always remind her of that. And I have a 16-year-old son, Eric Jackson, and a 9-year-old son, Zaire Jackson. Okay. And actually they really are my inspiration, because I came up a part of a single parent household. Right. So I always told myself that I'll be the best father that I can be. And they keep me inspired. And the reason I go so hard for the kids in the community is because my kids are doing all right, and I think that they see the relationship that I have with my kids. I try to build that rapport with them and keep them interested in what we're doing, and we do everything together. So my sons were afforded the opportunity to go to a private school, and they won some academic scholarships. Awesome. And that actually inspired me to go back to school. Wow. Because I just saw that the interest in education was so serious, and I just recently graduated college last year. Okay, so, and that would inspire me. So you can be surprised where you can get your inspiration from. Inspiration can come from anywhere. So, and that's why I want people to just see my story and understand that I literally start from the bottom. Not a song, but literally. We came up in impoverished times. Right. Single mother, I'm the 11th child out of 11. So, you know, she
not 11 out of 11.
I'm a baby boy, so you know, but you know, my family structure was so solid. Like my sisters basically made sure that we did what we were supposed to do, and my family structure is big too. You know, my mother, you know, she's still like she owns us.
She's the rock of the family.
She's the rock.
Yeah,
She's the rock. So, and she constantly tell us, you know, when you first call her, and you know, she'd say, you know, I'm praying for you.
Aww.
And that's just let you know you got to stay humble, stay faithful, because you know some of those sticky situations that you gotta, you know, she was praying for you at the end of the day.
Nothing like a praying mother.
Nothing. And I tell everybody that, like, she still inspires me. She's 80 years old and she still gives it to you like this. Like, if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, she's gonna check you. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, she still will tell you how to do it better. So it's a humbling experience to have my family, and that's why I basically love every day, and that's what inspires me to get the people in the community that I serve to understand that family can do it together. Right.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's very beautiful, and a lot of people need to. And I like what you said about, you know, with the relationship that you have with your sons, you want to give some of that to the other kids who are a part of your organization. I think that's kind of special. You know, it takes a special kind of person to have that kind of heart to want to share the bond that you have with your kids with other kids who might not have that, you know, at home.
And these days and times, I think you got to show. You can't talk to them about so much. You can want them to do better, but I think you can show them. Just like show them this is what you can be doing instead of this, or this is how you do it, or even if you hit a bump in the road, I'm still going to be there for you. You know, part of our program is that we deal with the holistic. So that means if you get in trouble, we go to court with you, and it's a big thing when the judge asks him, well, who is this kid? And we can stand up and say, well, he participated in our program, he does community service, he just made a mistake. You know, and personally I have seen judges and lawyers actually say, well, we're going to give him another chance, Mr. Jackson, you just keep on working with this child. And they want to see that, because when you pushing them to graduate high school, it's not going to be a smooth run.
No, it's not. So,
and when we see our kids graduate and they march across the stage and they see us in the audience, and it's like, yeah, we did it. So it's like a we did it together. And the biggest, and one of the biggest things that our organization do is we work with the parents, because you know, you always hear, well, it starts at home, and the parents are not participating, and the parents this, and the parents getting a hard way to go. And in these days and times, you have a lot of single parents, and you have a lot of working fathers. So it's like
they got to go out to work, bring home the bacon, and keep a roof over these kids' head, and the time is just not there to sometimes to, you know, do all of the things that you would like to do, especially when I've been a single parent for a while, so that's a job. It's a hard job, and you're only one person. You can only spread yourself so thin. So sometimes we need to give parents just a little break. You know. And
that's what my organization do. So what we do is we really support the parent. We inspire them too, because we're going to help them every aspect of it. And one of the things a part of your children being a part of our organization is volunteer time. You know, so when you have a child that you have to go to school for, but you just can't get off, we'll be able to go to the schools and represent the parents, because it's just this thing in time. You know, we have to work together. They say it's a village, so we try to take that on. We try to not be the parent, but we try to you know, make sure that you get the proper information what the school send home, because little Johnny might not bring a report card to you if he failed.
Do that.
So we kind of, with the kids that we serve, we kind of monitor all that, and we kind of track it. Because, you know, he might be doing good in reading, but might be a little bit behind in math. So when they come to the homework center, what we do is we focus on the weak subjects. And the kids that participate in our program right now, they we seen A and B report cards coming from kids who started off with a C. So we're going to try to model that type of atmosphere for the kids that participate in our program, because we just want to assist the child,
but also partner with the parent
so
that everybody can be successful.
So and the schools too. We work closely with the schools so we can know that, okay, little Johnny is struggling in reading. He might need to read 20 more minutes a day instead of going to basketball practice first.
Right.
So we monitor that, and that kind of helps.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is awesome to me, because to put that much time and effort into a child is amazing. You don't see a whole lot of that. You know, it's one thing to just bring them out, let them play a little game, and you know, just babysit them for a little bit. But you guys are actually involved in these kids' growth and development, their life, and their family. So that's amazing.
At this point in time, this is what's going to take. And I just feel that we have to keep on driving this home and pushing this type of programming. And a lot of people looking at it, because we're getting the results, especially in our younger kids. We have a couple of teenagers that started out in the organization that's actually about to graduate, that would had no chance of graduating, that we weren't a part of the, you know, life. And the parents thank us, especially when you got the grandparents thanking you. So we just want to keep on driving this type of organization and this type of format to the community, because this is what it's going to take. Yes. Right,
you definitely need it. All right, so guys, we'll be right back after the break. So now, when you come back, I'm going to ask you to tell them your website.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ask you what legacy you're trying to build for your children. All right, and we are back. Again, I'm here with Mr. Eric Jackson, and he's sharing his own personal brand of inspiration right here on the Inspiration by Loretta Show. Welcome back, Mr. Eric. All right. So we talked about your organization in the last segment. Can you give us the website where people can go and find out more information about the organization and how they can get their child involved in one of your programs?
Sure. It's www.ther3inc.org. That's THER3INC.org.
All right. And we'll have it right on the screen for you, so you'll be able to go and check out that website and kind of get yourself connected with Eric and his organization. Now, Eric, what legacy are you trying to build, or what mark are you trying to leave on this world?
Well, I just want for the people in the low income, high crime areas to know that it could be a better way. It could be a better way. And sometimes I know people talk about all the glory and the success, you know, but I like to tell people that, you know, when you're in the valley, you know, God's still with you.
Right.
You know, so sometimes you start off and you at the bottom and you think there's no way, you know, He sees you, he hears you, and you got to stay focused and you got to stay faithful. Right. So my legacy that I want to leave with my community, my family, friends, is that stay faithful, work hard, and stay dedicated to what you believe in, and you'll see a change most definitely happen.
Amen. I could not agree more. That's so true. I love that. That's a great legacy to leave, not only for your children, but for your entire community and the world in general. So that's a great legacy. Now, what is a model that you live by? Or what are some, I know some people have a scripture that they kind of model their life after. What's some words that you live by?
Well, one of the biggest thing is faithful.
Okay.
I'm faithful, you know. People don't understand, like when they look at me, they see a 6'4" guy,
right.
bald head, beard. But you know, it's just my heart and my brain was constantly growing. I'm
right.
continuously learning. I got a passion for finding out what's going to really work in my community, and it's not easy. You know, 80% of my funding for my organization actually come from me. You know what I mean? So I don't only have the passion, I don't only have the drive, I also fund what I believe in.
Right.
Because If you're not willing to
invest
in yourself, you can't get
Why should
anybody
anyone
else to
else?
invest in you. And
That's
I
amazing.
wholeheartedly believe in that. So and that's where my faith coming at, because I know I have a vision 5 years from now, and I believe that my vision will happen. I stay faithful, I stay prayed up, and I work hard. Because faith without work is dead.
Amen.
And that's where the whole action part of my plan comes in.
All right. Amen. Amen. Now, everybody that's watching, if you want to help fund Eric's organization, because remember, this is for the community, these are for people children who really need it, who are low income, high crime areas. Let's give these kids a brighter and a better future through this young man right here who is funding it 80% himself. Let's help him out. Go to his website. Again, that website is ther3inc.org, and we will have it right on the screen for you. So make sure you go and you help this organization, help these kids, and let's make the world a better place. Because if we can do it one community at a time, we will be amazed at how much we can accomplish. All right? All right. We're going to take a break for our poetry segment coming up next. And we're back. I'm here with Mr. Eric Jackson. Eric, I wanted to find out or hear more about the boxing. I know you're a boxing instructor, and I have my son is very athletic, so I'd like to know more, and I'm sure others would like to know more about that program.
Sure. Well, we have a program that's called HOOKS. It's called Hope of Overcoming Obstacles to Keep Striving for Success. I'm actually a junior Olympic champion, Golden Glove champion, state, national. So I have a little bit of boxing experience. And what I experience as a boxer is no matter how far you get down, no matter how tired you get, if you stay focused and you give it your all, one shot can turn the whole fight around.
Right.
So that's how we program our kids who, as a boxing class, they basically learn about the sport of boxing, proper diet, proper way to work out, proper way to go running, stretching before you go running in the morning. And we just basically give them the basics of boxing, and they turn it into a workout program. So they jump rope, they hit the bags, and it's a very, very good program because it's work on hand-eye coordination, endurance. Right. So everything that we do kind of have a purpose, right? A purpose behind it. So, and it's just the fact that it helps them become healthier, right? More active, and we actually teach them what exercises work for their body type, because everybody can't lose weight the same way. Right. Some kids don't need to lose weight, some need to gain weight. Right. So we teach them proper exercises they can do, proper diet to gain weight.
Now, what age group of kids do you work with?
We work from the ages of 8 to 18. They can participate at the age of 8, they can compete at the age of 10. Okay. I partner with a local boxing club, the Charleston Boxing Club, which is run by Al Hollywood Meggett. And the kids who really want to get into it and be active and travel with it, we send them to that gym on King Street. And you can get more information through the website. We are close business partners, so and we will make sure that they get that information.
Awesome. That sounds like a great program. Sounds like something I might need to try.
Oh, we got females doing it too. So
all right now.
But they compared it too.
I don't mind getting a little one-hitter quitter. Okay. All right. So now, here, tell us about as parents. What is it that we need to know, or what is it that we need to do that could best benefit our children?
Well, I think having open door policy, most definitely, let them be able to communicate with you and talk to you on any level. That's with the child. I tell people all the time, like, education is very important. Right. It's more important than people think, because it's a positive and it can be very negative if parents don't start paying attention, because there is a pathway to prison. It's real. It's not just talked about. They actually got studies coming out. They actually got the ACLU looking at it because it's real. Right. And it's almost scary to know that, you know, that's how important you taking your children's education is. It's not a scare tactic. This is reality.
Right.
School can be very positive to help your child be successful, but if you don't take it serious, your kid could have a tougher way to go in this world. So education have to come priority in our community. Right. And that I serve on a number of boards that's addressing education. I work with a lot of organizations that address education because it's just that serious. And it's going to take somebody that say this. Right. And you know, some people don't want to hear it from certain areas, or some people don't want to hear from certain people saying it. So it takes me to have to spread this word and my work to show that education is so important. That's what I'm going to focus on. And it's just understand that children are going to be children. Right. You know, when they going against the grain, or when they giving you a hard way to go, it's going to take patience, understanding. You know, and sometimes you have to think that you're not going through what other parents are not going through. And that's why we have parenting workshops. Oh, wow. Because you cannot teach parenting, but you can talk and share your experience. Right. So the same thing that you went through, I might not have to go through that. I might have to get help with that situation. And I always tell people, never be afraid to ask for help. You know, I tell my single mothers, I say, seriously, I want you to shop for a program for your child. If it's not my program, understandable. But I want you to shop for a program for your child, like you about to go and pick out a pair of shoes that's going to be perfect. You know, because you're going to take time with that. and that's just my comparison, because if it's not, if it's too tight, you're going to take it off. Or if it's too loose, you're going to take it off. Right. But you want it to be just right. And that's how you got to mold your child to be in a top program that's going to be excellent for them. Child, you know, because you want your child to play basketball, football, if he's a boy, but he might be good at dancing. You got to let them explore different options. And be who they are. Be who they are. They got to be able to express themselves in their way. Right. And then you just can help groom that child better. And it's just that simple. Look out for your child like you want to look out for yourself. Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Don't take anything for granted. Talk to them. Encourage them. If they want to become a dancer, dancers make millions of dollars just like NFL football players. You know, as a matter of fact, a lot of NFL football players learning how to do ballet now. You can be the one who teaching that NFL player to do ballet. Right. You got to think about it out of the box. You got to think about this world is so. My third grader right now is learning how to speak Japanese. Really? And I'm saying to myself, that's what the world's about to be. Exactly. You know, it's bigger than just our little community. Yes. It's a whole new world out there, and these kids got to be prepared for it. Yeah, and they got to be prepared. So if they want to explore different languages, if they want to take a vacation to somewhere that you're not familiar with, that means enlighten them. Right. You know, give them that opportunity to give them some exposure to new and different things. Yeah. That's amazing, Japanese. That's talking to that's coming from a father who grew up in the projects. Right. You know what I'm saying? Now my son is learning how to speak Japanese. So it doesn't matter where you came from. Yeah, you never let your circumstances determine your future. No. It doesn't. I mean, you can take a person coming from the least of those and can be the greatest. So you never underestimate somebody because of where they're from. Whatever God put in them is going to come out. Yes. You know. So and I try to tell my kids that all the time. It doesn't matter what you don't have right now. It doesn't determine what you will have in the future or where you will go in your life. But value what you have. Get as much as you learn, as much as you can. Build yourself and grow as much as you can, so that you are prepared for where God is going to take you. Gotta be prepared. Gotta be prepared. Gotta be prepared. All right. So, Eric, what are 3 words that best describe you? Hard work, dedication, and faith.
All right, hard work, dedication, and faith, and I think it fits you perfectly. That fits you perfectly.
They might have more money than me, but they will not outwork me.
That's right. That's right. Never let it always be the best at whatever it is that you do. Never, and that's a good mentality to kind of have.
That's it, because you know, everybody's not going to be blessed financially to do everything that they want to do.
Right.
But if you stay humble and you just work hard and let the kids out, whatever age group or whatever organization you work for, let them see you working harder than the next person, and inspire a lot.
Right.
And it inspire a lot of people, and I'm just humbled by the opportunity to come speak with you, because this is inspiring to me. I know my word's going to get out now. I just want one person to listen to my story.
Right,
and,
right.
you know, it's unbelievable how when people see when you're in your humblest state, how much more support you get.
Right.
So that's why you stay humble.
Stay humble.
I believe that wholeheartedly. Just
Let your work speak for you. You don't have to, you know, go out there with bells and whistles. Stay humble and just let your work speak for you, and whatever, and let God give the increase. You do all that you can, all that you know that He has ordained your hand to do, and you let Him bring the increase. And surely, if you trust and you have faith, like you said, one of your words, have faith, and everything that you want and everything that you desire shall be yours. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Now, what advice could you give other men when it comes to making a difference in the world, making a difference in their community, making a difference in their family? What are some words of encouragement you can give them?
Well, I just want them to understand that you don't have to be a professional in being a man to make a difference.
Right.
You don't have to be a millionaire to make a difference.
Right.
When I first started coaching my son's football team, he was 7 and 8 years old, and we were undefeated. And everybody kept on saying, how did you do this? How did you get a team that you just put together this first season, y'all went undefeated? I'm saying to myself, a lot of YouTube videos.
School YouTube.
And it worked. And
anything you put your mind to, you can do it.
I did the same thing for baseball. I did the same thing for basketball. And we were successful through the first 5-6 years of me just reading and trying to learn how to become a better coach.
It's all about mindset.
Yes.
If I believe I can do it, I can do it.
And that's just life. A lot of men, you know, we, especially being from the African American community, it's a lot of pressure.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of pressure on just the common man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I like to focus and have conversation with common people.
Right.
Because common man is going to be an extraordinary man. You can get inspiration from anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere.
Right.
You'll be surprised to know where your inspiration can come from. So you have to respect everybody.
Yeah.
I'm big.
And already, I always encourage people, establish your relationship with God, discover your purpose, and walk in that purpose so that you too can be like Mr. Eric here. You can make a difference in the world, because we need more people just like you. What is a last word that you would like to leave with our audience on today?
Just hard work and dedication. That's just the bottom line, man. We have to work hard, dedicate ourselves to what we believe in. If you think what you don't believe in don't matter, you could be sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
So you always stay focused on what you believe in, and just be positive.
Right.
Positive energy is a good energy. You know, that's enough negativity going on in the world as we live in. So just be positive. Last year, I received the Robert Francis Humanitarian Award. You know, one of the highest awards the hospital give out to, you know, working individuals, and it was an honor because they are the type of organization that you kind of get used to working. Mm-hmm. But you know, my whole time there, they challenged me to get better, inspired me to go back to school. not only inspired me to go back to school, but tuition assistance.
Right.
So it was an honor. And
how did it make you feel receiving that award? What did it do for you as a person?
I cried like a baby. I don't know if they still got the video out there because, like, when you working, you really thinking, you really not thinking about people paying attention to what you.
Right.
You're just doing your work. But to be honored as them, I talk about executive doctors, actually taking time to recognize the work that you do in your community, which is low income, high crime.
Right.
They recognize people's work that you're doing, that means that they pay attention.
Right.
So that's inspiration in itself, because they looking, they paying attention. They might not be able to come in and do the work themselves, but we'll fuel this young man to continue to be able to do this work. So, and that's just, you got to be the tool. You got to be the tool sometimes.
You got to be. Well, that was amazing, Mr. Eric. You have a great story, and I pray that a lot of people will get inspired by your story. I mean, you being a young man who came up in the same community that you're trying to help now. Now you're a great man doing great things and impacting the world. You're making a difference, not just for your children, but for my children and everybody else's children. And I just want to say again, thank you so much for all that you do for us, for all of us. So you're greatly appreciated. And you've been told because you've received the humanitarian award. But just from inspiration by Loretta, the inspiration by Loretta family, we thank you so much, and I pray that you will continue to do the work that you're doing. I pray that hundreds of children will be empowered and inspired through your organization, and I pray that the community and those outside of the community will help you in this fight to save our children, to build and help to grow and empower our children to be great men just like yourself. So again, everybody, go to Eric's website. It is the R3 Inc. That's THER, the number 3, INC.org. Go to the website. Be a partner with Eric and help to fund this organization. Or if you have children who could benefit from the services that he offers, they do boxing, they help with school, they help them with education. I mean, they do a wide variety of things, but the best way for you to know how he can help you or how you can benefit is to go to that website. Again, it is the-r3inc.org. All right? So we hope that something shared here today has inspired you, and as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.